Now, the reason why it is important for you to know who you are before you actually go on the journey to materializing what it is that you want is that your mind has associated something very dangerous. And this association, if you retain it within your consciousness, will make sure that you never be able to become successful in life. It will make sure that you will never be able to consciously manifest and achieve success in whatever it is that you want. Because your mind has made the dangerous association that action creates reality. And now, I'm not trying to say that, you just need to burn sage and sit on your couch and, you know, just eat potato chips and just visualize all day, feeling all nice without any action whatsoever. No. Physical action is very, very important because it is actually what what midwives your frequency into reality. But don't worry, we will talk more about that. However, for now, you just need to remember that before anything can exist physically, it first has to exist vibrationally. And vibrationally is a combination of your mental and emotional states of mind. Basically, here's how it actually works. Before you take action, just actually think about it. Before you take physical action, you're emotionally compelled to take that action, right? When you're hungry, you just go on to you just go to your fridge, you open it and you just make something to eat, right? You get the feeling of hunger. And so you're then emotionally compelled to fix it. And based on what you're emotionally compelled by to do is your intuition. Now, your intuition is comprised of two words: inner and tuition. Intuition. In, of course, means your internal world, and tuition means guidance or teaching. And this teaching comes from the within, which is you, the dwelling place of God. Now, without crossing any religious boundaries, whether we can all agree that we come from one infinite source, right? Our souls have been alive for way longer than our physical bodies have been, and they've come from a infinite source. Now, whether this infinite source to you is God, Allah, Yahweh, Jehovah, whatever that is to you, we can all agree that we come from this one infinite, boundless creator. And as it is said metaphysically in the Bible, the place of God wasn't built by hands. The dwelling place of God is within you. That means since you already have this aspect of our infinite creator within you, that means that you already hold the potentiality to materialize through your action from the higher planes of existence, which are the mental and spiritual planes, anything that you want into the physical plane, right? And this intuition from where you actually take those actions necessary that then you're emotionally compelled to do, and then you actually take those actions on the physical plane. What determines your intuition is what we call frequency. Now, frequency is an interchangeable term with self concept, state of mind, the consciousness, imagination. You can call it whatever. But basically, it is a it is basically a combination of the ideas that you've charged with enough emotion. Because here's how a frequency or a self concept is created. You have an idea, and this can be a thought, a belief, a conviction, it can be truly anything. And when you focus on this thought and you actually give it intensity, then you give it emotion. And your emotion is the strongest energy source in this entire universe. So when you actually give it your attention, whether consciously or subconsciously, you're giving it energy. And this energy amplifies that thought. Your emotion binds you to that thought or to that idea, and it enhances it so much that it just becomes so powerful. Like you genuinely have no idea just how strong your focus and your emotions are. And then once you persist in that thought or in that idea, either consciously or subconsciously, that emotion that you've put into it will eventually release an energetic signature. This energetic signature is what we call a vibration. And when a vibration gains momentum, so basically once you've been outputting that energetic signature for a long time, that vibration becomes a frequency. And like we already said, then that determines your intuition, which determines the things that you're emotionally compelled to do, which determine the actions that you take. Yeah, this is quite literally the multi-dimensional sequence of events. Before anything can exist physically, it first has to exist vibrationally. That's why all of these motivation videos don't work. That's why many people fail New Year's resolution. That's why so many people fail their goals. It's because they are fucked up on the realms of cause. And they try to change an effect by changing an effect, because this physical world that you live in, that you can perceive with your five physical senses, is nothing more than an effect. And the mental and spiritual realms, where your thoughts, ideas, beliefs, convictions, which exist on the mental plane, and your emotions, which exist on the spiritual plane, these are the realms of cause. They cause physicality. Physical plane is nothing more than an effect. By the time that you take action, it was already decided long before you actually took it. So therefore, it makes sense to rewire yourself on the higher planes of existence. Because that's like, you know how when you see that fly, for example, in your room that is bashing against the window, but if it just turned around, then it would see that, the door is right open, so it would just fly out, right? And that's exactly you. You try to take physical action whilst your identity, your self-concept, your state of consciousness, your frequency is completely fucked. You're trying to take action to become rich. But subconsciously and consciously, you're entertaining the thoughts, ideas, beliefs, and convictions that you are poor, that there are no opportunities out there, that no one has any money to buy your products, and you're focusing on it with such intensity that you don't even know. And reality literally doesn't even allow you to perceive the other side of the polar spectrum. Because if you just switched your frequency to someone that is already making that 10K per month, for example, then you would see all the different kinds of people that are already making it. And all this metaphysical stuff aside, and this isn't even metaphysical, this is just purely physical, you literally have a section in your brain called the reticular activating system, which is basically whatever feels the most natural to you will not get filtered out by the brain. It will get picked up. So, yeah, and this basically builds up on another point. The physical world that you call reality is nothing more than just an illusion. Now, illusion doesn't mean that it is not real. What it means is that it is not what it makes itself out to be. And when you literally look at the science, you can see that our eyes, they don't see reality. They only pick up electromagnetic signals, and they send it to the brain. And then your brain creates an image of what it thinks it is seeing based on its level of consciousness. And remember, consciousness is an interchangeable term with frequency. Everyone experiences reality differently. Because there's one Earth, but 8 billion frequencies. You can only see 0.0035% of the entire electromagnetic spectrum. So does it really make sense to judge reality based on an effect instead of the cause? Does it really make sense to judge reality based on just 0.0035% instead of the 99.9965%? The world has gotten you to play the game backwards. But trust me, we're about to fix this. Because whether you realize this or not, it doesn't matter if you were a little kid, it doesn't matter if it happened a week ago or an hour ago or a couple of years ago, at some point, you emotionally experienced or you observed something that wasn't reflective of your desired reality. Maybe it was hearing a family member struggling with money. Maybe it was, if you're trying to get into a relationship, for example, maybe it was, getting rejected. And that is now an experience that is within your subconscious mind. Whatever it is, please extrapolate this to whatever it is that you want. Just really actually think about this. What have I observed or emotionally experienced about that thing? Because remember, once it goes into your consciousness, into your conscious or into your subconscious mind, it will get produced in your reality because it will change your frequency. And hence, your output will change also because reality unfolds from you. It's called the universe for a reason. So just really think back to that experience or to that thing that you observed, that event or circumstance that made you know, not believe, but know for a fact that you're not in that reality or that confirmed that a world that the world that you experience or the world that you live in is a certain way and that it just the thing that you desire just doesn't exist. Really think about this. And here's how we can alchemize this and how we can actually put this to benefit us. Because your subconscious mind, which is the birth womb of your reality, cannot actually distinguish between mind and reality. To it, mind and reality are one, and this all comes back to the one universal law of polarity, which states that everything has an equal or stronger energetic opposite in this universe, hot and cold, masculine and feminine, high and low. You understand what I'm trying to say? And since your subconscious mind, or your just mind in general, is above all these, universal laws, then that means that it perceives mind and reality as one, but that's a topic for a whole nother video. In fact, I already think that I've made a video about this. Yeah. But what's important right now is that we can exploit this. We can exploit this to our advantage. What I want you to do is to get into a deep meditative state. I want you to basically lay down and relax. Basically, get into a state where you can just relax all of your muscles, get rid of all of the tension, and just completely focus on the internal world. Just detach from the external world and just relax and allow yourself to step into your internal world, into your internal world, into your imagination. And then I want you to take that memory of the experience or the thing that you observed that basically, I don't want to say traumatize you, but basically convinced you that the world is a certain way and that basically isn't reflective of your desired reality. And I want you to recreate that memory to be reflective of someone that is of producing that feeling that implies that you were in your desired reality. Just basically change it completely and then just loop it over and over again like a TikTok, and you will see the magic unfold. Now, of course, the physical world will take some time to reform, but this is all about the internal world, remember, because the world unfolds from you, and what you can see is only 0.0035% of the entire electromagnetic spectrum. So we are not working with the realm of effect, we're working with the realm of cause, with the realms of cause, to eventually affect the realm of effect. And then you will see the magic unfold. You will suddenly see yourself being emotionally compelled to take different actions. You will tweak this about your website. You will write your article a bit differently. You will start to approach, girls or guys with more confidence. And all of these small things will eventually add up. And then eventually, before you even realize it, you will be in your desired reality. Because it all starts from you. It's called the universe for a reason. That's why you need to know who you are before you can actually manifest what it is that you want. Because who you are, on what kind of frequency, self concept, state of consciousness, imagination, whatever it is that you want to call it, that you are, will eventually determine what action you take to solidify that vibration into reality. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. And yeah, that's basically it. If you're more interested about this manifestation stuff and just healthy mindsets in general that improve your life, then you can check out my Timeless Reader's Mindsets in the description. It is just something life changing, and just look at these people. They've benefited so much from me, even though they haven't even seen a single life lesson from that course. So just imagine what is in there. But no pressure, of course. It is just something that you can buy if you grow to like me. But for now, make sure to implement the knowledge that you've learned in this video. Probably go over it again because, the concepts that I broke down over here, yeah, they can sometimes be a bit messy to understand at first, but trust me, once you actually grasp it, you will be amazed at how fast actually reality transforms itself. And yeah, take care.